Hey, everyone, welcome back. This is part 2 of PA3. What I really want to get into is what's called multiplicative inverses or reciprocals. What we have to do here is we need to make sure we know what happens when we're dividing by a fraction, right? So if I've got like 2/3 x equals 6, we need to understand how we deal with that division. We know that we're supposed to do the opposite of multiplication is division, but how do we do that division? Okay, so we're going to talk about some multiplicative inverses, and here we go. Find the multiplicative inverse or reciprocal in this case, this first one is 1/3. So what I need to do is flip that. Flip the denominator and numerator. So if this was 3 on bottom, and the denominator becomes the numerator becomes the denominator, 3/1. Okay, take 5 seconds, do the other two right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that was a long 5 seconds, I know. But let's flip them, okay? 5/7, if we flip to do the reciprocal, we get 7/5. 2/5, you flip and you get 5/2. Mr. Brayman, we know this. That's okay. We're going to use these to solve our one-step equations, and then eventually our two-step equations, and eventually our multiple-step equations. First one here, I've got 3/5 t equals 6. This means I'm multiplying t by 3/5. Now, in your mind, you're saying I have to divide by 3/5, and you're absolutely right. But how does that work? When you divide with a fraction, you use the multiplicative inverse. Flip the fraction. So the coefficient, that's the number that multiplies the variable, right? The coefficient of t is 3/5. The reciprocal or multiplicative inverse, we flip and make this 5/3. So what we're going to do is multiply both sides by the multiplicative inverse or the reciprocal. 5/3 times 5/3. Now we can simplify, all right? And here's what happens. Here's the beauty of this, right? If I simplify this, I know I can do my cross simplification. I will do that. But if I look at this just straight out how it is, 5 times 3 would be 15. 3 times 5 would be 15. And t, well, what happens there? 15 divided by 15 is 1. 1 times t. We don't write the 1, we just say t. That's why this works. That's why this works, okay? Let's do this side. Let's do this side. I'm going to write it over here. 6 times 5/3. Well, how do I multiply fractions? I can put this over 1. Doing okay there. If I didn't see that I could simplify the 6/3, I could multiply across and get 30 divided by 3, which would be 10. Or I can simplify crossways here. 6 and 3 simplify to 2/1. 2 times 5 is 10 divided by 1, because 1 times 1. And 10 divided by 1, one other thing divided by 1 we know is itself. So t equals, oh yeah, 10. I did the simplify over here, right? So you could either have 30/3 or 10/1, however you wanted to look at that one. And how could you check it? Plug it back in. We said it's 10. So I'm going to do my check up here. We have 3/5 times 10. Does this equal 6? Well, if I do the multiplication, I could simplify here and here. 10 and 5 become 2 and 1. That simplifies to 2/1. 2 times 3 or 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. 6 divided by 1 is 6. And this checks out. Okay, I'm going to do the next one. Our coefficient, we're still using t. So our coefficient, the number multiplying the variable, in this case is 2/7. I need to make the reciprocal of that, making that 7/2. Multiply both sides by 7/2. Okay, so I found the reciprocal. I multiplied both sides by the reciprocal. I'm simplifying. 7 divided by 7 simplifies to 1. 2 divided by 2 simplifies to 1. This side gives me t. This side over here, I can simplify the 8 and the 2 as 4 and 1. I multiply the top, I get 28. I multiply the bottom, get 1. That's nice. T equals 28. Can I check my work? I can check my work. 2/7 times, we said T was 28, equals 8. Let's simplify this. Put that 28 over 1. Doesn't change it, right? 28 divided by 7 simplifies to 4 and 1. 2 times 4 is 8. 1 times 1 is 1. 8 divided by 1 is 8. And 8 still equals 8. Okay, here's your job. I'm going to do out these problems so you have them to look at as solutions. I want you to check your answers when you're done, but this right here is exactly what we're trying to get into. All right. Hope you guys are doing well. Take care.